guys, it's Sarah back with another spinning video, and today I want to talk to you about joins. It's one of those things that we have to always do, but people are wondering if they're doing it the right way or if there's a way to make the join stronger so it doesn't come apart. And so I wanted to talk to you guys about that today. I have 3 different types of fiber that I want to show you. A hand-combed fiber directly from a fleece, a carded fiber from a indie dyer, and a mill processed combed top, and show you 3 different ways of joining and see what you guys think. Alright guys, let's talk about joins. First of all, when you are spinning, doesn't matter what you're spinning on, doesn't matter what you're spinning with, but when you are starting your fiber, start with a nice poof of it and wrap it around your shaft a couple times so it makes a nice little knot that can be unwound so you can connect your cops together if you choose to do so. Okay, so let's pretend that this right here is the end of our fiber. Okay, so I spun this. Let's draft it a little bit because we don't want to have a whole bunch of twists locking us up. All right, so we're going to pretend like this is the end of our fiber supply and we're going to join to a new one. So here's the single most important part of joining your fiber supply. Don't spin all the way to the end of the fiber supply. Like, you don't want the end of your fiber supply to look like this, where it looks like a single already. You want the end of your fiber supply to look like this. A nice little tuft of yarn that's easy to join back to. All right, so when you are ready to join, okay, you take your new fiber supply and your old fiber supply and you just lay them together. Create a nice little blanket, okay, and then we're going to give the spindle some twist, and you're basically going to draft the 2 fiber supplies together at the same time in a little sandwich and just pull from both fiber supplies so it's exactly how thick you want it to be, but it's coming from both. So that way you don't see where the join is. You don't know where the join even happened. All right. Now, this is hand-combed fleece, okay? This is easy because it's nice and fluffy and the fibers like to grab onto each other. But I'm going to go grab some other fiber. Hang on. All right, now this, obviously, completely different fiber, okay? Completely different spindle. This is a sticklebat from Inglenook Fibers, and it is very lovely. It's very soft, but here's the thing about it. It has lots of different lengths of fiber in it, okay? This was a large quantity of yak fiber, and yak is like this big. It's super, super short. And then there's long pieces of silk in here, like this blue right here. This is silk, and they're really, really long. And so what usually happens when you have really, really long and really, really short, if you're spinning from the tip of this fiber, like across the top, so you just, draft all the way across to one side and then draft all the way across to the other, you're basically generally left with a clump of really short fibers in your hand because the long fibers pull out easily when you're drafting like that. And the short fibers kind of stay and don't go anywhere. So This fiber is a little bit different. You can see here that I have my spindle and I have my single and I have a little fluff on the end of it, okay? Now because this fiber was all different lengths all mashed into one, I decided to spin this from the fold, okay? And in previous videos, I've shown you how I spin from the fold, and it's not the traditional way. I don't keep my finger inside the fiber like this. I can take it out and everything's still happy. But with this fiber, what I've been doing is grabbing just the tips and pulling. Okay, so that's not a lot of fiber in the grand scheme of things. All right, and I take it and I sort of pull it sideways just a little bit to like lighten it up. And not that this fiber is ever compacted, but it can get a little dense sitting in the hard knots. So I just fluff it sideways a little bit. I put the tips together underneath of my fingers. I pinch it and slide my finger out. So I have a nice little, I don't know what you call it. It's from the fold. Nice little dumpling of fiber. So I take this little corner or this little front piece and pull it out just a tiny bit. Okay, then I take my tuft from my spindle and I put it inside just like this. So it's sitting inside this nice little hole. Okay, and I'm going to spin my spindle and let me see if I can really let the twist go into the fiber supply. So I've like let go, you can see. But the twist, because how twist works, it grabs on to the fibers that are surrounding it and it pretends like it's all one big happy family fiber supply. So now you can strum your single as it's twisting. So you're allowing twist to go into your single or up into the fiber supply by doing this with your fingers. You're basically just rolling the single around in your hand. And now this fiber has been joined to the big fiber supply and we can continue spinning. So I'm going to keep strumming my fingers and spinning this sort of in a long draw, but instead of pulling my left arm that's holding all the fiber, I'm pulling my right arm to stretch out all of the single. So there's another join for you. Let me do that one more time. All right, so I've pulled off my little fluff and we were working from this end. You can see it's sort of closed up now. So I'm going to flip it and show you from the other end. Okay, so we have our fluff and we have our nice little U-shaped packet of fiber. We're going to take this little fluff and we're just going to push it right up inside. You can even open this up all the way so you can lay it out flat and put this inside and then fold it on top of itself. Okay, so now your single goes in the hole, and then when you flick your spindle and allow the twist to build up, okay, you can see we've got plenty of twist. See, it wants to bounce. So we're going to, here's my right hand with the spindle, here's my left hand with the fiber. And I'm going to let the fibers catch. And that's really all that you're doing, is you're just letting the fibers catch. And making sure that you don't outdraft your twist. Because what happens is if you go too fast and you pull, it's going to continue to thin and it's not going to be the diameter you want it to be. So you have to be slow and deliberate with how much twist you're letting into your single and also how fast you're drafting so you can keep it in a fairly uniform diameter. All right, so that one was more of a woolen join for spinning from the fold. All right, so I've shown you hand combed top, and I've showed you carded from the fold joins. So now I'm going to talk to you about milled combed top, okay? It's not all that different from regular comb top or from hand combed comb top, but you can see these fibers here are all in a line and they don't fluff up quite as nicely as with hand carded or hand combed or even machine carded. Okay, so what you're going to do with this is you see all these little end pieces. Okay, really what I do is just lay that fluffy end onto the combed top just like this. So here's my fluffy end and here's my comb top. And I'm going to spin this spindle and get some twist because we're at an unfortunate camera angle. But here you can see the twist that's built up. See how springy this is? I know it's not in focus. It's pretty springy, okay? So I'm going to show you right here. These little front fibers have already started to attach. Okay, they already are like, pick me, because they want to be in the big happy yarn family, okay? So here, right here, I can easily pick up the end of my single that I was spinning where I broke my fiber supply. So here's that. But up here, where we're actually spinning, is where we're actually drafting from. So we're actually going to incorporate this little piece of fluff right here. Right there. It's still hanging out. We're actually tricking it and making it think that it is part of the regular fiber supply. So we can then pinch right here where the twist stops and this is single and this is fiber. We can pinch right there and pull out, and it's going to continue to be the same diameter. And now it's joined, okay? There is no more little fluffy piece. It's gone. It's been incorporated. And the join has been made. There is no more single hanging out. So I've twisted the spindle a few more times. You can see we've got a lot of sproing. So again, let's pretend like we break our fiber supply or we break our single. We just lay it in there and it's still got that sproing. So you just grab it and pull it down. And it's going to, with the twist activated, you can't even see where it's joined. So, last thing to recap. All join is tricking the fiber into thinking it never broke, okay? So if you can trick the fiber into thinking it never broke, it will behave as if it never broke. So this break doesn't have to impact you at all if you just lay it back on your fiber supply and add twist, because these little front hanging fibers want to join the yarn party. Okay, so let them join. Add that twist, grab them and your little fluff, because see, here's our little fluffy piece. Grab both of them together and pull down, and they are joined, and you would never know that you ever broke your yarn at all. All right, so that's everything. So basically, making sure you have nice fluffy ends, drafting them together a little bit, spinning the spindle that you're joining to, and then keeping it going is the perfect way to get those joins to be nice and firm. If you guys have any questions, please leave a comment down below, or you can find me on Ravelry. I'm Mrs. Flick there. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. And like I've said before, please let me know why so I can try to make it better for you. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.